Did you know that A380, the biggest commercial aircraft ever built, will be discontinued in the near future? Even though back in the day, manufacturers used to compete in building those daring gigantic aircrafts. In today's video, we will speak about the top 10 passenger aircrafts that never got the chance to fly. Number 10. Tupolev Tu-404, 1,214 seats. This giant Russian aircraft excelled the rest of the aircrafts in this list, although it was designed in the 90s. Tupolev Tu-404 was designed to have 6 pusher turboprop engines and was made to carry more than 1,200 passengers. The wingspan itself was 110 meters. Crazy, isn't it? The project was discussed with many potential buyers, even though it did not get past the concept stage at that time. 404 was considered an imitative project of the already existing military plane, the Pakta. However, 404 was stopped in favor of Tupolev Tu-304, which was considered a more realistic project. Number 9. Sukhoi KR-860, 1,000 seats. It was a known struggle for the American and European manufacturers back in the day to create an aircraft that has the capacity of 500 passengers. So they started to come up with designs for the production. But the Russians believed that they cannot be outdone, so they also manufactured an aircraft with better qualities and came up with the beast named Sukhoi. The aircraft was made to carry around 1,000 passengers in economic class. Russia created the aircraft just for the foreign markets, as it was believed to get them more profit than the domestic markets. However, the development for Sukhoi discontinued in 2012 for unknown reasons. Number 8. Airbus A380-900, 960 seats. Airbus A380 was a one-of-a-kind aircraft. Airbus wanted to create something like A380, but with modifications, hoping that it would be as successful as the parent. They wanted to extend the original fuselage of the A380 just by a few meters. That would have increased the passenger capacity of 555 to over 900 seats in an economical configuration. But unfortunately, A300-900 was never produced. Also, in 2019, Airbus decided to stop the A380 in the coming future. Number 7. Lockheed Martin VLST, 900 seats. Lockheed Martin felt that they needed to step up their game when they saw that their competitors are building bigger aircrafts. So they worked hard and came up with VLST, which stands for Very Large Subsonic Transport. The plane was designed to have an oval-shaped body with 2 axles, each of which would carry 450 passenger seats in a 2-class configuration, which totaled to 900 passengers, along with carrying containers as well. The end result was to be similar to the Antonov Tu-25 Mirai. However, the entire design of VLST was to be altered to be similar, but a bit smaller. The cost of the development was between $8 to $15 billion, which meant $200 to $300 million per unit. The project was eventually abandoned due to the high cost. Number 6. The new Boeing, 900 seats. Boeing wanted to create something similar to 747, but much bigger. They decided that the latest engines were to be used on the aircraft for it to have a smoother takeoff, as it is much heavier and bigger. It also had an economical configuration of carrying 900 passengers. Unfortunately, Boeing abandoned the project. However, many of the features that were made for the 747X were used on other Boeing aircrafts like the 747-8. Number 5. Boeing 747-700X, 650 seats. After failing to create the 747X, Boeing decided to create an aircraft with lesser seats. So, they came up with the idea of expanding the 747 aircraft again, but with a lesser capacity than the 747X. The aircraft was set to fit 500 seats. The main idea was to extend the upper deck. The extension of the upper deck would have carried up to 650 passengers while still sticking to the OG 747-400 autonomy. Unfortunately, Boeing did not find the correct market for the new aircraft, even though there were some potential buyers. Number 4. McDonnell Douglas MD-XX, 515 seats. After the MD-12 project did not succeed, Douglas engineers did not give up and started working on another project. In 1994, the new project was introduced, named MD-XX. It was basically an extended version of the MS-11. The fuselage was stretched to increase the passenger's capacity to 515 passengers. MD-XX had the same wingspan of the MD-11, which is 65 meters and the length of 71.6 meters. The amount required for the project exceeded MD's financial abilities, so the project got cancelled the same year. Number 3. McDonnell Douglas MD-12, 511 seats. As an attempt to take over Boeing 747, MD started creating the MD-12, which was the last aircraft with 3 engines. But later in the process of creating the craft, the 4th engine was added. which made the aircraft a double deck with 4 engines. A little smaller than the A380, the project was approved, and Taiwan Aerospace signed a partnership with them. Unfortunately, MD-12 did not get any orders. Airlines found it to be a useless project. It was large and a lot more expensive than their competitor Boeing. Number 2. Tupolev Tu-304. 500 seats. Tupolev attempted to take its shot in the wide-body aircraft market, which was already initiated by Boeing 777 and Airbus A330 in the early 90s. The plane's body was a bit smaller than their competitors, with a 57-meter wingspan and a length of 62 meters. The fuselage had an oval cross-section, which would have increased the passenger capacity. It was aimed for the aircraft to be in operation in the early 2000s, but failed due to the lack of funding. Number 1. Sukhoi KR-860 and Ilyushin IL-86. 450 seats. Sukhoi KR-929, which is a Chinese-Russian aircraft, and Ilyushin, which is a Soviet-Russian aircraft. Both manufacturers had the goal of expanding their aircrafts by increasing the length of it to fit 450 passengers or more. Unfortunately, none of the ideas was completed due to lack of funding. This is the end of today's video. Which of these aircrafts did you find the most interesting? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn the post notifications on to receive the latest from Titty Nope. See you in the next one.